Welcome back into Locked On Bama, everybody. Today we're going to talk about some recruiting stuff. Tony Mitchell of Thompson has released his top 5. Did Bama make it? I don't know. Stay tuned to find out. Also, Alabama has welcomed in a visitor from the transfer portal, basketball-wise, and Jimmy and I will talk about him. That and a whole bunch of other stuff here on Locked On Bama today.
Locked On Bama, your daily podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey again, everybody, and welcome back into Locked On Bama. Luke Robinson, that's me. Jimmy Stein, that's him. Jimmy, how are you today?
I am doing outstanding.
Well, good for you. I'm in Las Vegas, but I just got through watching the best movie. It's called The Pursuit of Slappiness, starring Will Smith and Chris Rock, and it was just awesome.
Weak. Boo.
I know. And plus, I'm probably very late to that joke, but seriously, I've been flying to Vegas and then gambling and walking around Vegas with my children, not necessarily in that order. And so I've been busy. I don't know if somebody's already used that joke. I thought it was fantastic. Saved it for the podcast, and so here we go. Jimmy, and because I'm in Vegas, I got to move lickety-split today, so it's going to be an expedited Locked On Bama. But first and foremost, let's start football recruiting. Tony Mitchell, the unbelievable safety prospect out of Thompson High School, has released the top 5, and Bama, no surprise, is on it.
Yeah, no surprise at all. I still consider Tony Mitchell the favorite. If you read the story on 3, it's clear he really likes Oregon. It's clear he likes programs other than Alabama. I wouldn't say that Alabama is a lock for Tony Mitchell. He wants to hear what Texas A&M has to say, what Oregon has to say, other programs, Georgia, for instance. This is a highly sought-after kid. Hey, you can't blame him. I mean, you know, everybody listening to this podcast has a favorite team. Almost all of you, it's Alabama. And but at the same time, I mean, you know, these are fun trips, and it's cool to check out the facilities and go to these other places and meet people and network. You never know who you're going to meet up or on the way down. I heard a story once. You know, Tosh Lupoy recruited Reuben Foster to go to Washington when he was at Washington, and Reuben was a young player. He recruited Reuben and got to know him well, and then ended up on the staff at Alabama. And Reuben goes to Alabama, and he's like, "I told you I'd coach you one day." And then he ends up, you know, being a big part of his college life. And I think that comes from, you know, meeting a lot of people. There's nothing wrong with what Tony Mitchell's doing. He does like these other programs, but in the end, right now, I'm not betting against Alabama.
And you shouldn't. I mean, Thompson is a pretty nice little pipeline to Alabama. They do have an offensive lineman that I don't know if I'd say he's trending to Auburn, but I feel like
yes,
Auburn certainly feels good about their position with him. And he seems to be a good player and a good kid. So kudos to Auburn getting somebody from Thompson finally, potentially. But Jimmy, I want to tell everybody about Stat Hero. Look, Stat Hero is the best. Stat Hero single game pick'ems pits the star players against each other in an amazing hybrid between fantasy and sports gambling. Take control back from these handicappers that always seem to have the advantage. Start focusing on the players you know best with a gameplay that doesn't rely on big spreads, long odds, or funky props. Stat Hero gives you the advantage, resulting in their gamers winning 4 times more often. Why? Because Stat Hero eliminates the mystery about who or what you're going up against. This is what daily fantasy was meant to be. Sign up for free now at stathero.com/lockedon. Use promo code LOCKEDON for a 100% deposit match. That's stathero.com/lockedon. Use promo code LOCKEDON for a 100% deposit match. And if you didn't hear me those previous 2 times, stathero.com/lockedon, promo code LOCKEDON. Terms and conditions may apply. That's how you do a live read for 60 seconds when you stretch out those last few. That's how you do it, Jimmy. I'm just telling you.
Oh, that was good. I was impressed for real.
Wow. I'm so thankful. And that's really what I was going for. By the way, people might be able to see lovely Las Vegas in the background. I'm staying at the MGM Grand with my fam, and we've already hit several spots and had a blast. Want to thank everybody. Man, I'm going to tell you something. There was nothing better, Jimmy, being on the plane. And landed, and you know, I checked just to see how like the pod we did yesterday or whatever had been doing. We gained like 40 subscribers just from that pod alone. and it's gotten the most likes, I think, of any pod we've done. And so it tells me you guys want to hear more about recruiting at all times. And so that's what Jimmy and I are going to try and do. Obviously when it's a game season, football game season, we're going to try and break down what we break down and observe what we observe. But recruiting is what everybody wants to know. And I think more people are like me about that. And like you, where, Jerry Seinfeld said it best. Men don't care what's on TV. They care what else is on TV. And that's how I am about football. I don't care who's on the team right now. I care who's going to be on the team. And so I love college football recruiting. And it's just my thing. And I don't know why I love it so much. It seems a little weird, and I thought I'd outgrow it. But I'm one of those crazy dudes that was calling the Cecil Hurd hotline for 50 cents a pop back in the day when I was at Alabama. So anywho, we will continue to talk recruiting because that's what you guys want us to do. But for right now, we do want to tell you about Jalen Lewellen, a Princeton transfer that came and had dinner with some of the Alabama basketball folks. He didn't just have dinner with them. He visited. That'd be weird if he flew in like, I've heard so many good things. I just want to go to Chuck's Fish with y'all. That'd be weird. But no, it looks like Alabama is certainly in the mix for him.
Right.
There are rumors that Alabama is also waiting for some other guys to hit the transfer portal in football too. But we'll see how that goes.
Yes, all true to all the above. Right now, it's kind of portal season. The season is just now ending. There's only one weekend left. The portal is about to get very crowded. Kids are just now getting into the portal. It's going to be bursting at the seams soon. I did look into Jalen Lewellen a lot. I do think there's an excellent chance he could end up on the team. What's interesting to me, Luke, is not only Jalen himself, but the fact that Alabama is already bringing a point guard, and that's what he is. This is a point guard. This is not a wing. He's not a guy that can play all 5 spots. This is a point guard. This is why you sign him. And you may ask yourself, why would Alabama need a point guard? You got 2. You got the kid coming in from IMG, Jaden Bradley, who's a great player. But you also have J.D. Davison returning. Well, not so fast. Maybe J.D. Davison's not returning. And that to me, with Llewellyn on campus, I'm not saying that equals J.D. Davison has left and it's a done deal. But I do think things just sort of trend in a direction, right? And things just seem to be trending there. And if J.D. Davison is gone, you've got to go into the portal and get an experienced point guard. There is no choice. You can't go into a season with one point guard and he's a true freshman. Even if you think he's going to be great, even if you think he's going to be the starter, even if you think he's so good he could be a one and done. No, you cannot have one point guard on your roster. So to me, Luke, this is sort of sending a message that we're probably bringing in Llewellyn to replace Davison. That's just my read of it.
No, that makes sense. And it also makes sense that we wait to make sure that's what J.D. Davison's going to do. I think that's what he's going to do. I think most people believe that's what he's going to do. I'd be shocked if that's what he didn't do was leave. But I think you wait to be sure about that. And you wait to see who else hits the portal. A dude from Illinois who's not bad just entered the portal, 10 minutes ago or something. So people are entering the portal like nobody's business. I'd be willing to bet there's some dudes on Kansas and Villanova and Duke and North Carolina, they're going to enter the portal. By the way, how much do you love the fact that that's our Final Four? That's a damn good Final Four. And, no offense to St. Peter's. They didn't need to be in the Final Four to make this really good. We needed these 4. And Duke, North Carolina, and Coach K's swan song is a beautiful thing. But going back to the point guard thing for just a second, you talk about, hey, even if we think Bradley is just the bomb, like he's the shit, right? He's number one. He's awesome. I remember pretty vividly Jason Kidd when he was a true freshman at Cal. True freshmen do true freshman things. Like one time he was bringing the ball in, like he was triggering the ball in from underneath his own basket, and the referee handed him the ball, and he just started walking and dribbling. Like it was a pickup game, and you were like, all right, our ball, and you just sort of come in with it. And the ref was like, no, that's illegal. You need to give me the ball back. And so what I'm saying is true freshmen, as talented as they are and as awesome as they can be, and Jason Kidd was one of the most ballyhooed point guard recruits I can ever remember. He had a complete moment of brain gas. It just happens. Jimmy, I want to tell everybody about betonline.net. after months of playing college basketball, has determined the top teams for the Final Four and will determine this year's national champ this weekend. BetOnline.net is your number one source for all betting needs and sports info, from all the latest odds, contests, and player props to whatever you want. They got it. BetOnline.net. It remains the best spot for all your latest sports developments, including podcasts and reviews of all the leagues this season. And it's not just basketball. They have everything you need: baseball, golf, Vegas casino games. I'm in Vegas, and I'm telling you, BetOnline is like actually being there. If you live in Des Moines, you can be in Vegas with the snap of a finger and a pretty decent computer. That's how easy it is. BetOnline.net, where the game starts. It is absolutely awesome. I love it. I've used them. I'm telling you, I ain't going to lie to you folks. BetOnline.net is the thing for you. All right, Jimmy, other basketball stuff. When people watch this, it'll be Tuesday. So tonight is McDonald's All-American game, and Brandon Miller, I've seen some practice clips of him. Forgive me. I flew in last night. Let me tell everybody really quickly. I know they kind of hate it when I do this with Locked On, like when you and I do personal stories. But so yesterday, right, people know me. I got 3 kids in Ohio, younger kids. So I drive from Birmingham. I get up at 6 in the morning Saturday, drive to Lexington, Kentucky, meet their mom, pick up the kids, start driving. I get to Knoxville, spend the night, get up the next morning to drive to Atlanta to go to the airport so we can fly to Vegas. And my wife and our daughter, they're driving from Birmingham. Well, she gets a flat tire on her Mercedes on the way. And, you can't just like change a flat tire at Mercedes. You got to call Mr. Mercedes and get him to come do it or something. It's like it's a deal. So it's a whole rigmarole. Well, I ended up having to go to Douglasville, Georgia, or Bremen, Georgia, to go get her. And then I had to call Delta on the way and negotiate changing flights. So our flight left 3 hours later. We barely still made it. Then we get into Vegas later, and we thought, obviously, we get here last night. I take the kids, put them all to bed, and I'm like, Daddy ain't coming to Vegas and just going to bed. So Daddy went down and played some Vegas games. And then I got up at 5 like I do every single morning because I'm insane. And and I'm tired. And meanwhile, I had to read up about Will Smith pimp slapping Chris Rock because I love Chris Rock and I sort of dug Will Smith, but now I don't know what to think. So anyway, it's been a long night. So if I'm screwing up my words, bear with me. So I don't know what the hell I was talking. Oh, Brandon Miller. I love me some Brandon Miller. At practice, he's been killing it at this McDonald's All-American game. And this guy's going to be a thing next year, Jimmy. They say he's looked the best at these practices, which is crazy nice to hear.
I'm not going to say he's Jabari Smith. I'm not going to say that. That's nuts. That's not fair to the kid. It's not fair to Jabari. Brandon Miller deserves the opportunity to be a freshman. And you should never assume, regardless of rankings or hype or even how somebody does in the National All-Star game, you shouldn't assume, immediate greatness. But Brandon Miller's game and his size and his skill set and hype is all very similar to Jabari Smith. And we all saw what he did at Auburn this year. So I'm excited, but at the same time, if he's not Jabari Smith, I'm not going to be upset about it. I mean, no one should be. It's just let this kid be Brandon Miller and let him develop at his own pace. But in terms of his skill set, in terms of what he could be, I mean, I think that's sort of the dream, right?
Oh, it's definitely the dream. And I think that's another reason why getting some transfers in that have some experience is also a positive, because we're going to be relying on some true freshmen for sure. And this note on Jaden Bradley, by the way, I've been out of pocket all day. This was actually posted like 4 hours ago, so excuse my tardiness. Jaden Bradley will not be playing the McDonald's All-Star game because he's nursing a minor injury. And I hate to hear that for a cornucopia of reasons. And here's another thing. My New Year's resolution: quit saying cornucopia. You can only use that word once a year, and I use it like it's the, or a, or an, or then.
Hey, don't be dissing my favorite Russian tennis player and a cornucopia.
And Boy, she was a cornucopia. There is no doubt about that. Gosh, she was good looking. All right, Jimmy, that's going to do it for today's podcast. I'm sorry it's so abbreviated, guys. I really am, but I'm in Vegas with a bunch of children trying to make good things happen, trying to make some memories. Y'all bear with me. My dad never did this for me. No, he did. He did. Sorry, he did a lot. I like my dad. He's still alive. It all works out great. Anywho, y'all have a great day and roll Tide, everybody.
Yeah, hope you and your kids enjoy your time at the strip clubs. Good luck with that.
Hey, my oldest is turning 18 tomorrow, and like the thought has crossed my mind.
Boom,
like,
chakalaka.
Yeah, I mean, why shouldn't I take him to a strip club? I mean,
That's
shouldn't I?
dad. Yeah, it's a good place to have the talk.
It is. And and when they take me to the VIP room, I can text him and tell him happy birthday.
The talk consists of make sure he counts out all 100 ones when you get change for this.
Yeah, tell him when my credit card is declined the first time, use my other credit card. All right, that's what I'm doing for today. Roll Tide, everybody.
Roll Tide.